Ooh, that's hot. Good stuff, though. All right. Switching up the tunes. A little boogie, a little bass. Syncopation. There we go. Well, we're gonna have to be on top of the thumbs up and fast forward on these today. There we go. Okay. Just checking to see if it builds. Nope. All right, we got flat widget and prefab. That's right. Working on this prefab from. Because we're going to do more than just prefab here. See if there is a prefab. We have to pull the pieces out of it one at a time in order to keep expanding the pieces that might be more prefabs. The prefab can be made up of prefabs. I don't know really how I feel about that. If it's just going to add like so much complexity, it'll be unmanageable, or if it'll be this kind of nice balance. Time will tell on this one. I'm hoping for a nice balance. We'll see. I'm hoping that the UI only ever sees prefabs, and that the prefabs have the properties and not the widgets themselves. So, we'll see. Drinking a lemon tea this morning. How's everyone doing today? Let's pretend that we get a prefab here, right? From widget. Where's our prefab? Here's our prefab. But depending on the type of prefab, comes into here, right? This here we have a widget. We give it a prefab. Let's import prefab. What? Maybe we should have like a simple into. I don't know. Into widgets. Takes a self. Feels like we've just added this layer of indirection only to immediately undo it. Because what would we do? We would match self here. And then depending, we'd probably call some other function, right? Instead of doing the two matches, we could reduce that to one, right? We'll just have a module that has some functions here. Say expand will receive a widget, flat widget. And this will return. Let's see if we can just do. Oh, interesting. It could just return a widget. But could a prefab only have top level elements? Could it? Or, no, it can't because it's part of a hierarchy. So what is a prefab going to look like? Prefab would be, let's say, this widget here, right? And because, so one thing to notice there is that, where were we? Or just choose another one. And while this is a list of things, the prefab itself would be, let's say, flash, right? That there, it would get swapped out with one other top level element. Is it technically doesn't have to? Hmm. How would we represent that as a prefab then? Because we swap it out with an array of things, like 4 or 5 different top level elements. Where does the child go? Because the prefab would have to know. One moment. shoot, I was on mute. Okay. So I think that'll work there. I could have checked here, couldn't I? Okay. That's working. Now let's get our prefabs working. All right. Now, let's make a prefab. How about message? It's basically what message should expand into. So if we have a kind that is message, it should actually become all of this, have two possible children, one for the message header and one for the message body. And then if there is only one, then we should omit the message header. So we need a little bit of logic in there. I think this is a really good example of what this should be. Let's toss this down here. Oh, and I forgot. I forgot. Where is it? Where's Discord? All right, here it is. Hello, everyone. This is from the announcements in the Cloudflare workers place. We just wanted to update the challenge site as well, but I wanted to update you here. Or we just updated it. Okay. You will retain all rights to your project, including the source code that you will be submitting to the challenge. We've updated section 12 to clarify this concept. We are not looking to get ownership of your project or your source code. The submission talked about is a separate concept, i.e., the form you're submitting when you enter. We're working on getting more clarification around if we can allow group projects. At the moment, we are not allowing group submissions, but it will keep you all posted if that changes in the future. I'll also make sure to send a ping to everyone so everyone sees that change and it doesn't fly under the radar. Well, hello. Owen KB Codes, how you doing? How are you, Mr. Sir? So I think we might actually jump into that. I want to take a peek at the rules again. I still love this. Sorry. Oh, I'm glad you're. What about me? I am doing well. When to enter? Let's see. Participants must build a project using at least 2 of the products from the Cloudflare developer platform. For the purpose of the contest, the Cloudflare developer platform consists of workers, pages, servable objects, and KV. All submissions must be provided during the entry period. Proof of receipt. Okay. Evaluation of submissions. Original work. By entering, you warrant and represent that your submission is an original work created by you, and that no other party has any right, title, or claim. Your entry into the contest shall be forfeit, and you will not be entitled to a prize. Selection and notification of potential winners. Okay. Terms of winner selection. Prize documentation. Potential winners will be required to complete, sign, and return an affidavit of eligibility, publicity, IP license, and release. Okay. Disqualification and fraudulent entries or tampering. All right, Owen. Oh, We should add a... There we go. I don't know. That's let's set lurk to something more interesting. What did we use as the we gotta look at Cap10's source. I don't remember what we set for the token replacement for like that Mr. Halsey bit there. All right, that right up. All right. Or to modify or cancel. Release. Yep. Disputes, miscellaneous. All right, there we go. I think we can do this now. I think we absolutely can do that. Where did the Discord go? Oh, you know what? Let's click on that. Where do we enter? Oh, look at that. A new mug. What is that thing on the left? Keycap. What do we do with a keycap? We get stickers? Look at that. How are they going to be judged? I thought durable object was still required. You still had to pay for that, right? Because this is August, and deadline for submitting is November. And when do they judge it? Must provide the URLs to a source code and a repository and a working live demo. You must submit before November 1st, 2021. Okay. Well, let's sign up. Ooh, I got a unique submission link. Let's check that out. Live demo and link to the source code. Yeah, I don't have a good live demo yet. So it looks like we have until November 1st. So 2.5 months? All right. All right. I should set up a calendar reminder. I'm gonna do that real quick because I don't want this to I don't want to miss that. Calendar. So October. Submit project to Loudflare contest. Done. Save. And we are going to take a quick peek at Capitan's source. Where is Capitan? What? How do I log into my Raspberry Pi now? 192.168.136.7? Maybe? Getting closer. There's Capitan. Fans. Where's our templates? New template. Name. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at that. Set lurk. What are we gonna say that? My little Raspberry Pi is rather slow at the moment due to the Rust analyzer firing up. That didn't do anything. What is our variable? How are we supposed to express that here? Don't remember. Oh, all right, what other file do we have? Main? Oh. feel like I'm missing something. We have this. Set template, get template. Right? Do template message.name. Username. Args. What is args? Oh, markings. Oh, that's right. We're using that. Okay. Oh, we need the $sign. Okay. There we go. That bot has been running for so long. It's been on a UPS, so it's just been running, and if it gets disconnected by Twitch, it just reconnects. It has been super stable. Oh, I think it's called bot uptime. Yeah. Yeah, so it reconnected 21 hours ago. Oh, funny. Yeah. Database abstraction and Rust. Let's see, I want to fast forward the song. So far, my favorite is SQLX. I've used Diesel a lot. And it works all right. Morning, Dad. What's that? How you doing? Good morning. Um, I'm not a super fan of like DBORMs, stuff like that, because you always need to actually go one step further. So you might as well just write the SQL. Um, but Diesel, I think, is the best ORM out there. But if you're not looking for an ORM and you're looking for just a nice library that can do quite a bit to connect to a database, then you're probably going to be best served by like SQLX. And that's like, I don't know, 6, 8 months old. The knowledge there. So where is SQLX at? Updated 3 months ago? Yeah. Type safe. Database agnostic, pure Rust. So it's pretty nice. Looks like it works with all of the runtimes. Oh yeah. But it's nice that they've added, you know, async standard Tokyo. It's like, well, those two. Like you'd have to use async standard if you were interested in the async runtimes. I didn't realize that Actix had its own runtime. That surprises me. Hmm. I would still expect libraries like this to be updated just because of their dependencies. 'Cause you, of course, always do not want like abandonware. And I'm currently working through abandonware hell at work. So I really appreciate what I've seen in the Rust community where people ask for other people to take over a project and hand the keys off. I have 2 libraries of work that are currently just we're migrating off of, but it's buried so deep on our code that it's been painful. And slowly migrating off of something like that is all you can do. Just one little bit at a time. Um, yeah, this one I think is my favorite at the moment. And I spent more time with Diesel, and I like Diesel. Did they? Hey, Des. How you doing? I don't know if they went async yet. That was one of the things I was waiting for. Let's see, a repository. That's actually one of the issues that sparked SQLX. Yeah, removing libpq to enable async. Mecode. This guy's the same guy, Ryan Lucky. It's the same guy that wrote SQLX. But arguably, most people don't need async or don't need to send multiple requests to the backend at the same time. SQLX, let's go back a little bit more. SQLX also does this other cool thing for pipelining. There. Did they have a better website than that? We go to the repo. Does it show more? Install. Yeah, yeah. It's not an ORM. Fine. Connecting, querying. Compile time verification. Great. Where's pipeline? It's not in here. You can check out. Oh, this is a new one to me. ORMX. What is this? Who's it written by? Nix code. Huh. This might be worth looking at. Just you know, see the differences between diesel and something like this. You have a little experience with Python? You know, I've been teaching my kids how to program in Rust, and I think it would be just fine. Hold on a sec. Um, I think the biggest thing is to actually get in there and start trying to work through it, because you're going to go through, a couple of different pain points. And Rust, unlike other languages, has more like learning cliffs. It's more of a stair step than a curve. So getting involved into some sort of community would be the most, like, I think, most helpful thing to do. Right. So there's this guy that does Easy Rust, and he basically just works through all of these different concepts. And let's bring this out here. If you want to read through it, you can read through it, right? It explains it concept by concept, just one after the next. And if you don't want to go that route and you're more of like a video person, like you want to hear it, or you're more of an auditory learner, um, or what is it? Tactile? What do they call it? Kinetic? No, I forgot the word for it. But they have videos as well. And he basically went through and did all of the text um, explanations also on video. That's just an image. Part 1, Rust in your browser. See this chapter on YouTube. Right. Ooh, look at that. Skip. Oh, I don't do a lot of ad block. Oh, here, I know the audio is really low, but I'd highly recommend that if you're new to Rust. Um, and there's always the book. Right? I think the support for kind of beginners coming to Rust is there. One of the projects you might look at is here, if you go to Rust Lang, they touch on every single way of learning, right? You can read the book, you can do this course, and you can check out the examples. And the Rustling's course has a lot of small challenges that introduce you to the concepts in Rust. So combining this with Easy Rust, I think it's going to get you pretty far. And of course, right, the book. The book's really good, really good. And going through at least the first couple chapters is going to give you the differences between Rust and other languages. And if you don't, the book is, I think, targeting people that have experience in other languages. So it might not be the best introduction to Rust, but it does a really good job. So we are looking at expanding our prefabs widgets. Book is definitely good. Yes, absolutely. In fact, I've got it on the shelf there. And one of my weekend projects is this. Dun dun dun. Rest for Rustations. Oh, there's a version of the book with examples too? Oh. Huh. So far I've enjoyed it. It's I've really only read the first chapter yet. The chapter 1, mindset. Wait, doesn't this go all the way to chapter 15 already? Is foundations. Oh. How far does this go? Which chapter is this? Nine? Goes to 9? I see, just those red ones. I thought I had a more updated version. Maybe not. Oh yeah, yeah, now it goes to 12. Unsafe rust, concurrency, FFI. So early access, but yeah, I think it's actually really good. Oh, did they got rid of the links here? I liked the links. Oh, see, they do have foundation. Oh, but not mindset. Okay. Foundations I thought was good. It talks on memory and stuff like that. Um, I, you know, I don't really want to scroll through the book on the screen as it's not my book to share. Um, John could, but the let me see if I can find something that is. Yeah, they talk about order of drop, mutable references, all sorts of stuff in your interior mutability. And it's definitely very thorough. And the book is actually reviewed by um de Tolnay. So the technical reviewer is David Tolnay. Right. So I mean you got him and John. Or like technically it's very good. They, I did send in one little bit of feedback in that there was an extra parenthesis or quotation mark or something. So I haven't found anything really wrong with anything else. So, but I'm gonna read it. So if you still want to put off the acquisition of said book, and you want me to go through it first, that's fine. It's fine. I'll give you an update. Um, oh, the DEF CON 50% isn't available anymore. Yeah, I ended up getting it before then, when it first came out. Um, I really wouldn't mind having more Rust material, especially written by people like John. So, oh, what are we gonna do here? It's up there. Exercises? I don't know. I haven't seen an exercise in here. They have lots of code. Let's see, they talk about marker traits. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. Talk about error handling, propagating errors. Yeah, I don't see exercises. Now, the other book that's out there, I've not picked up yet. Well, did I or didn't I? What was it called? Rust in Action. Yeah, by Tim. Oh, they got a new cover for. Oh, what is this? This is the O'Reilly one. I don't have the got dust all over the cover. Um, yeah, these two I have not yet looked through. What is this little? Oh, okay. So that these are first and second edition. Then you have the language, Steve Labnick. Crafting interpreters. I'd love to go through that. That'd be a lot of fun. Um, and this one, I want to see what's inside in action. Oh, and the other one I got was is it even here? No. Yeah, where were we here? Advanced functions, compound data types. Dude, I wonder if this one does exercises. Doesn't look like it. Acknowledgements. All right. Anyhow, that's going to be my weekend reading that book. So let's see. How are we going to do this expansion? So in this case, where we have one of these, we are going to return prefab expansion many. And this is going to be more flat widgets. We need some sort of transformation system, and I don't know where we should put this. Expand message. Flat widget. Oh. Generate function. Oh, look at that. I love you, Rust Analyzer. So much. All right. Expand message. So in this case, we take this as the input, right? And it's a flat widget. It will eventually take two children, right? But we don't have access to the children here. Oh, because they're flat. We might still be able to do this, though. Okay. No. And if we wanted to be able to expand that differently, depending on how many children were passed in, we couldn't do it with flat widgets because, oh, wait, no, we can. Oh, wait, we know how many children we have. Because a flat widget, that's the only other property in a flat widget. This is the number of children. So we could expand it differently depending on the number of children. Yeah. All right. All right. So let's say we did receive something like message that simply had two children, right? Those flying ants are still creeping around. I used Rust in action to pummel one. Yeah. Okay, so we have the flat widget. We are... Can you use Rust for backend? Yes. Yes, you can. Absolutely. You can use Rust for backend, front end, embedded, um, web. I can't think of something that you couldn't use Rust for. Oh, there's certain architectures that you can't use Rust for. There you go. Oh yeah, you can use Rust for all the things. Now, that's one of the great things about Rust. Its support to be compiled down to WASM is really, really good. It's kind of first class. As part of the language, you can, well, the compiler, part of the compiler. WASM is like a first class target. And that's actually what we're using with this project. This code is running in Node. It's going to be running on Cloudflare's V8 isolates. And it's also going to be running on the, well, we're going to use TypeScript for the front end. Let's face it. I didn't want to set that up to use Rust on the front end, but we could. All right, so I'm going to return a vector. And in this case, how many children? Got a conflict here, this and this. Technically it's okay because it gets filtered one to the next. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is have a message pipe through. And then depending on how many children there are, we'll add more. So the first, yeah. We'll have message header, message body. Message header will only want one child. And then message body gets the remainder. God. I get buzzed by one of those flying ants. These things are, my nerves. All right. Feels like I walked into like a spider's web. So let widget count is going to be equal to match flat widget num children. So in the case of what do we do for 0? Do we do like a placeholder? We could do a placeholder. Is 0 or 1? No. I think if there's 0, we should just fail. So based on the number of children, if there's nothing, rat. So this thing is actually going to have to expand into that. This will have to be a prefab expansion. In the case of 0, nothing. 1, there's something there, and then more than 1, we get something else, right? So for the widget count, oh, we'll return that. Early return on that. Otherwise, there's 1 or n. This is just n then. Oh, no, it's 2. Because we are generating 2 widgets, even though there's going to be many, many, many more children. Okay. And these are flat widgets, so. Ah. This is actually going to be 2. This will be 3. These are flat. We'll still have the top one. That'll be 1, 2, 3. With capacity. Widget count. So the first one This is going to be a flat widget. Right? Has no ID. Oh, that's interesting. Should it have an ID? Probably the same ID as this here. Although, as we go through this, it's not like... So we need to persist the... Find, really. The permissions. It just doesn't feel right. All right. Feels like we should have some sort of like default widget. Right? Like if we went to page, and like we've got in here the ability. No, not in there. Or was it some dialogue? Was it? No. But in some of these, we have like a default widget. It's already generated. In this case, that's going to be 0. Actually, are those default? Is this defaulted? Oh, it is. Perfect. So in this case, we can just do kind is going to be a message. Hey King, how's it going? We need a better name for this. Props. We'll pass that through. You know what we could do? I mean, this is like identical to the other thing. Can we do that? Oh, flat widget dot widget. I think I want to rename these pieces here. Where is it? Over in page. These are going to be Bulma. There we go. Now we're not going to be conflicting. That'll be the top of it. Okay. Oh, but this is supposed to be a flat widget, isn't it? Yes. And this wants how many children? Oh, it changes. It changes, doesn't it? That needs to be mutable and was not used. All right, so that's going to be the top widget. And then we have to push the header if it's needed. Pull my message header. Wait, where is it? Where's page? Here. Pull my message header and pull my message body. Okay. Keep going to that file. Let's close that. Okay. We'll default out the rest. That's header. The number of children on this should be 1. If it exists, it should be 1. If we have header, then we do that. Otherwise, we skip straight to the body. And the number of children here, it's going to be the whatever the remainder is. Miss the header of the ch child count. This one. Saves all remaining children. Okay. And this is going to be what? Um, Because the other child went to the header. Okay. In theory, that's going to work. Okay, missing match arm here. Go for 0. Nothing. It just gets dropped. Okay. Anything else? Internal server. Unknown widget type. Message header. Oh. What? What? Here. So now, that's right. Now we can simplify this. And we do not need the pieces there. There we go. Now we have a message. It's got 2 values. Okay. There it is. Hello world. And oh, that looks horrible. What is going on there? What is this? Message body, message header. What's with the tag on the left there? Oh, the message header and message. Oh, I got the child count messed up. Prefab. Go here. Because we're swapping this out in the tree. So what happened here? Message header received the message body. Yes. Oh, this is going to get really complicated. Because at this point, we got the widgets back, right? But we didn't kind of interleave them with the other widgets in the tree, right? Instead of them being like this, like it's complicated. Is this complicated because it's flat? Would this be less complicated if it was still structured? Yes, it would. Absolutely would. This way we just swap it out in the hierarchy. But then we'd have to actually traverse the hierarchy. Um, Like we want to do this while we are flattening the widgets. Move the children. Because if right here, we could swap out the prefabs and give one piece of the children to one half, the other to the other. Is there another way we could do it? Independent, though. That's a little complicated. I'm saying that more than I like to. I like simple things, and this is definitely not simple. I feel like I've a little bit of a mess. I don't want it so intertwined, right? I would like it to be independent, all on its own, so we can test it, keep it clean. That does mean we're going to do a little bit more work, though. Instead of this being here, flatten widgets, we're going to do this up here, right? Or we're going to take the widgets, and before we flatten them, we're going to operate on them. Something like so. Sub. If we do it this way, is it reasonable to have? Yeah, it's got to be the same. Message. Header. Body. Hello. Gotta get dressed. Yeah. Brush your teeth. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is wrong now, but just keep going. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. So we flatten widgets. What? Oh. There's that. Okay, so now let's do this again with widgets. Now we have a widget, we come through. We're building up a result because we might have more than one. But it's a little different now, isn't it? Because now our widget needs to be a single widget, doesn't it? So if we remove this, does it result to an option to a widget? Because we'd be going from one to the other. Now, here, this is our top level list of widgets. Okay, okay. So now that has to be. I don't know. We've got to recurse through this. Expanding widgets in place into their other types. So we'll do depth first reversal of this tree. I guess it doesn't have to be one or the other, does it? Be breadth first, it doesn't matter. Um, all right. Shoot, I gotta get going. Sorry about this. I might be back later today, actually. We'll see. Oh, this is interesting. All right, y'all. I gotta get running. I'm gonna think a little bit more about this because it's gonna take me some time. And I'm gonna read a book, inspect a chicken. So the next video. Bye-bye.